Oh, hi, my name is Raul. I'm the Senior Director for Spiritual Growth here at Vineyard Cincinnati Church. And today I want to share with you some encouragement out of a very well known story in the Bible. It's found in Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. And I'm going to read it and then I'm going to share some insights from the scriptures there. And it says, On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, Let us go across to the other side. And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat just as he was. And other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But when he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion, and they woke him and said to him, Teacher, do you not care we are perishing? And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. He said to them, Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith? And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, Who then is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? And as we look at this story, I think it provides a great paradigm or a pattern that can serve us well in all the storms of life that we are facing. In the middle of this story, what we have is the real evidence of a literal storm. There are winds blowing, there is water coming onto the boat. And many times when we are going through trials in our lives, we listen to the real evidence of circumstances, our circumstantial evidence, or the circumstantial noise. We pay attention to that. We cannot minimize that. It is real. Nevertheless, all that we see is not all there is. There is a greater truth, especially for us that are believers, involved in any trials that we go through our lives. In this story, it's remarkable to me that, first of all, in the midst of the storm, they looked at the evidence they had, but they forgot about some other important truths. First of all, Jesus was on the boat with them. He was asleep, but he was on the boat with them. He was not about to sacrifice his agenda or his purpose by dying on a boat. Secondly, Jesus had spoken. He told them, let us go to the other side. He didn't say, hey, let's get into this boat and see what happens. And many times when we're going through trials, we also forget that when we embark on a journey with God, usually God has spoken, given us words or promises beforehand. We also forget that he is with us and he has promised to abide with us and be with us at all times. But we listen to the circumstantial noise at the expense of the greater truths concerning God and what he has spoken and what he has said that he's going to do. Thirdly, I think it's important to see that on the other side of this storm was a great revelation of Jesus as the one who calms the sea and the storms, as the master of all of the creation and the universe. Many times I find myself asking for the more of God. God, I want more of you. And God has shown me in my life that many times a greater revelation of the glory of God comes following a great trial in my life. God allows trials to come into my life, and he has a purpose to reveal his consolation, his peace, his care for me. And as I'm looking at the storm, I get consumed in it, but I don't see the greater thing that God is doing beyond that. He's bringing a greater revelation of himself. So my encouragement for all of us today is that whenever we face a storm, even as real as the circumstances that we are facing, let's not just look at what we can see, but also understand the things that are unseen. Let us remember that God has spoken before we embarked in the journey. Let us remember that he's committed to be with us. Let us remember that he is willing and present and able to act in every one of our situations. Lastly, let's remember that even though it was the screams of the disciples that awoke him, it was his committed love that moved them to action. God is committed to take care of us from beginning to end. You're never alone in the midst of your storm. I hope you're encouraged today. God bless you.